How was it to get your jersey retired at with high school?
Pretty cool. Pretty surreal. I'm surreal. It was a long time ago. Um, it's going by really fast, so it was pretty cool.
How did it feel to shape you, just the man you've become?
That's a great question. Like I had so many different experiences. Will is a mix of a lot of different worlds. You got working class people. It's a little bit. You got some affluent people. It's a little bit of mix of everything, different ethnicities. So my experiences definitely prepared me for life.
Obviously, playing basketball there is one thing, but do you have any favorite memories from just like being there in general, like as a student?
Yeah, I have a lot of great memories. Being in engineering class, even transferring over. I was accelerated in math and science. I came into high school with high school credits already. As a freshman coming in, taking classes with sophomores and things like that. A lot of my friends were older. What else? Memories. It's just, all of them. Everything's great.
What kind of feeling was it for you emotionally, just being there in a place where you went to high school, going back, experiencing everything, and then everybody's just going so crazy for you. It looked like all the students were going nuts, just celebrating.
Yeah, it was great. And I just wanted to give some words of wisdom, some inspiration to let them know, like, despite the circumstances, they can, use their platform or they can continue to kind of like beat the odds. A lot of when you go into public schools, I feel like the system is kind of betting on half of those kids not to succeed. So just being able to have them have the awareness, give them the tools so that they could, navigate life a little bit better. One memory you asked me that just came to mind is like I remember I took the PSAT in my sophomore year, and I scored like in the top 10 percentile. I got all these camps I get to go to, math and science, that I was eligible for, and they gave them to me in my homeroom. And I remember seeing the dates. They were at the same time as the LeBron camp. So I remember stuffing them at the bottom of my book bag. They never got to my mom. Like, they never got to my mom. She would have probably sent me there. And then they had like parent-teacher conference like a few months later, and they were asking like, did you ever get the packages or whatever that we sent? Like Jaylen was eligible to go. He was a math lead. He was able to go into the science Olympiad camp, whatever. And she was like, no, I never got him. I was like, they didn't give him to me. Like, I don't know what happened to him. We going to LeBron camp.
Did you ever find out?
Of that?
That is my first public admission to that.
Does your mom know, or is it
She knows now.
Well, how did you
She
find
knows
out?
that. How did I find out? Maybe I told her some years ago. But, I had a decision to make right there. It was LeBron camp or Science Olympiad. You know what I mean? It was an easy choice for me.
There's a tweet that's resurfaced of yours many times over the years about you saying like that your teacher said I'm going to see you in prison one day, and you said I'm going to be in the NBA. Like, what's the backstory of that? And did you feel like a lot of people kind of didn't believe in you, didn't think you were going to make it, or was that more of an aberration, that story?
I think it was people that believed in me, but also I went to a public school for sure. So like the reality is that a lot of those kids, don't have the opportunity or the resources to reach the same level of success. The opportunities are limited. I think like only a certain amount of students are going to university. A certain amount of students are going to community college. Like the opportunities dwindle depending on the zip codes that you come from. But that was like over 10 years ago now, almost. Is it? Yeah, I think over 10 years ago. I remember like it was yesterday. I came into class. I think I had just got back from a camp. It was either Nike camp or something like that. And a lot of the students were just excited talking to me and X, Y, and Z. And I remember, I was kind of distracting the class, not intentionally, but, all the kids wanted to ask me questions and stuff at the time. I was a kid as well. But it was kind of distracting to the class, and the teacher was just trying to get the class organized. So she made a comment. Like, it was like, if Jaylen doesn't do his work, I don't care what camp he went to or whatever the case may be, he's not going to be successful. If he doesn't pay attention in class or something, I was like, and I might have said something back like, whether I pay attention in class or not, I'm gonna make it. And she was like, well, we'll see. I'll see you in the Cobb County Jail in 5. That was her response. And it was a substitute teacher. And it was kind of a back and forth, but I empathize with teachers because in reality is like you have a class that's probably got too many students in it, and their job is to not only teach the class, but also keep a group of like 30 students behaved or more, that come from backgrounds that maybe lack resources, that have problems at home maybe, so they have other issues that they're probably dealing with at the same time. So I empathize with teachers because they don't get paid enough to deal with some of the stuff that goes on, but that's kind of what happened, and maybe I could have been, at the time, I could have been more respectful in the sense, but it was just kind of like one of those things where the students were just excited to kind of hear about some of the stuff that was going on for me outside of, I couldn't really control that, but that's kind of what happened. And then I remember I tweeted it like in my next class, and then a student administrator came and got me out of class and was like, "We need to talk about this." And I was like, "No big deal," you know what I mean? But I did. Those were the words that were said to me, and I did use it as fuel for the next 10 years, and here we are.
So like, obviously you and Kristaps are close, seeing him traded to Atlanta, and obviously has continued to deal with the illness here this year. Have you kept in touch with him, and how does he seem to be doing? Obviously living where you grew up now.
Yeah. He's in my hometown. I remember we did a segment when he was in Boston. When we came to Atlanta, I took him to American Deli, and he went up to my high school as well. So I feel like that was kind of like my kind of helping him get intro to the city. Hopefully he's enjoyed it. Atlanta has many things to offer historically, so hopefully he's having a great time. I haven't communicated with him as much, but it'll be great to see him tonight if he's here.
This team is coming up on a half season already. Before the season started, what were your expectations, and have they exceeded them?
My expectations was to come out and play hard and kind of maximize my team's potential just from a leadership standpoint, and then from my standpoint, just be as aggressive as I can every time I touch the ball, and just be calm and poised and see where that takes you. I didn't really have an expectation in terms of I wanted us to be the first seed or et cetera. I just wanted us to come out and, with all these guys that are no longer with us, I wanted to just come out and compete and play hard. And that's what we've been doing. And now we look up, I think right now we're the second seed, and we still got a lot of room to grow. So we're halfway at the halfway mark. I think we're at the halfway point. This is game 41. So it's a perfect time to reflect on, everything to start the season and the amount of growth that we've had as a team. I've enjoyed being with this group. I've enjoyed playing with the young guys and seeing them, helping them with their learning curve and things like that. It's been a joy. So I'm looking forward to the next part of the season, and we still got some work to do, and at this point, mentally is the part where we just got to push through because, you start to wane a little bit. As your body starts to wane a little bit, your mind can wane a little bit too. So this is where you got to be sharp and push through and still, be firm with the ball and all that type of stuff and execute, because that can be the difference between you winning or losing games. So I'm focused on that.
Last question. You talked a lot about how it was going to take, this group some time to sort of mesh, and it did. It played out like that. But from your perspective and your day-to-day and, the coaching staff and everybody, what have been the biggest differences from the past 2 years where a lot of the thing, there was a lot of rollover in terms of personnel and everything to this year, just in terms of, the day-to-day approach, how you approach basketball, how the coaching staff approached it and everything like that?
Yeah, I think we've had a more analytical approach. I think that's where our not only our coaching staff, but our front office, we love analytics in Boston. So we've had a more analytical approach to our style of play. I think this year it was just get it how you live, maybe, the way I play basketball doesn't jump off the charts analytically to some degree, in some capacity. So I can see why people may think that maybe being me put in this role, it wouldn't be successful. But, there's more than meets the eye. So I've just been playing my game, and I play off rhythm, I play off feel, I play off, what I see, and sometimes that doesn't show up on the analytics. So I think we've changed our approach significantly. I was discouraged a lot of times to take mid-range shots at different points in my career. They literally told me not to. So now it's like, Jaylen, you can take whatever shot you want. I was like, sure. So, I've been shooting as many mid-ranges as I can get up, but at different points in my career, that hasn't been the case.